What's going on, everybody? This is PlatsDoneFAst. Sorry I didn't upload this weekend, but I was a little busy. I was actually at the movies both days. I saw The Conjuring and The Wolverine. And then I hung out at my friend's house both days. You know, I just had no time. But, yeah. So, the movies I saw, The Conjuring and The Wolverine, both were pretty good, but I would recommend The Wolverine over The Conjuring. In the previews for The Conjuring, they made it look like it was the scariest thing ever. But in reality, there was like 6 jump scares. But the story was still really good. And, you know, they developed the story really well. It was based off a true story, actually. But, of course, you know, it's over-exaggerated because it's a movie. But I'd still recommend go seeing that. That's pretty good. And The Wolverine was actually fantastic. It really didn't base much off the X-Men. All you need to know is that he killed Jean in the previous X-Men. And I don't even know exactly how it happened, but I do remember it, like, she was, like under, like, someone was controlling her or something like that, or something was, and Wolverine was forced to kill her. And then, like, he took a vow not to hurt anyone, he, like, went off into the wilderness, but, of course, you know, he comes back in this movie, and this movie was great, action-packed. There was this one train top battle, it was really good, and there were some really funny parts in it, so that one I definitely recommend. But, yeah, let's just get into what I'm going to talk about today. I just thought I'd share my movie experiences with you. I would recommend both of them, especially if you haven't seen the previews for The Conjuring. If you haven't seen, like, the trailer or the previews, you'll still know, you won't expect the best jump scares. The best ones are on the commercial, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, let's just get on with it. So, today, I decided to share a little something embarrassing, like a past experience of mine, and this happened when I was at work, and, yeah. Obviously, I work at a bowling alley. I think I've mentioned that before. I shouldn't say obviously, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before. But, yeah, so I was working there. I work, like, the grill and stuff because I'm just starting out. That's how everyone starts out there. You start and, like, you cook, and then you get moved up to the counter. I'm moving up to the counter pretty soon, which I'm really happy about. But, yeah, so I was cooking. I was working with a coworker of mine. I'd call him a friend, Charlie. He's a nice guy. A lot of people complain about him. I don't know why, but, you know, I think I don't have any problem with him. I don't know. He's an older guy. He's like probably 55, but yeah, I could still talk to him about anything that I could talk to my friends about. You know, he's just a cool guy. I like him. But yes, I'm working there with him, and he's like, oh, tonight this church group's coming in. They come in once every month, and like the end of the month. I was like, okay, cool. And so they come in a little bit later. I think it was like after one league we ran. So they came in at like, I don't know, 8 o'clock. And there were probably like 15 kids. And there were like a few girls, and most of them were guys though. But there were like, I'd say 4 girls. So I'm not really paying attention to them coming in. And, you know, Charlie sets them up. They go down and bowl in their lane. And then Charlie's like, Chris, the second they all go down, he's like, I think that one girl likes you. I was like, who? He's like, the brunette one. I was like, really? Because, you know, the brunette one was pretty cute. I was like, yeah, nice, you know? Take advantage of that when she comes up, you know? I was kind of happy about that. But then, yeah, he's like, yeah, the brunette one. Yeah, dude, she's really into you. She's checking you out, and, you know, her friend, she was up here with her friend. I was like, okay. So, then a little bit later in the night, they came up and ordered food. And, she came up with her blonde-haired friend. And, and her blonde-haired friend. I remember exactly what I was wearing that night, too. I was wearing some Muse shirt, because the blonde-haired friend was like, hey, nice shirt. And I was like, yeah, no, they're a pretty good band, right? And she's like, yeah, totally, I listen to them a lot. And that's what she said to me. And, Brunette didn't say anything to me. I was like, okay. So, this blonde-haired girl wasn't, I wouldn't say, yeah, she wasn't as attractive as the brunette one. The brunette one, I wouldn't say was hot, she was just really cute. And I was like, okay, you know, I'll take advantage of this if she ever comes up and, like, talks to me. But then when the blonde started talking to me, her name was Sarah Dalen. I remember that. But when the blonde started talking to me, I was like, I think Charlie's got this backward. I think the blonde's into me, and the brunette isn't. And at that point, I was like, I really hope that's not the case, but because I really wasn't interested in the blonde, and I really hope that wasn't the case. But so yeah, they walk away, and I go up to Charlie. I'm like, Charlie, I think you got backward. I think the blonde likes me. He's like, no, dude, it's the brunette. I was like, alright, whatever. I really hope you're right. But then he's like, oh, well, which blonde are you talking about? I was like, her friend. He's like, just show me her again. So I point down to her, and he's like, oh. Okay, well, hopefully it's the brunette. That's what he says to me, but, so yeah, later, okay, now I gotta think here. I gotta get my thoughts in line, because a lot happened here, and it's kind of like a blur, but, so, okay, so I'd say 5 minutes after the blonde came up and talked to me, Sarah, a few guys came back up to the counter, and there was no reason for them to come back up to the counter. They all had their food already. They were all down there bowling. There wasn't any problem with their lane. There was no reason for them to come up. So I'm like, oh crap. So they come up right up to me. They walk past Charlie, come right to me, and they're like, hey, you know Sarah? I was like, yeah, the blonde one down there. They're like, yeah, she really likes you, dude. And I was like, crap. That kind of sucks. But so I didn't say that to them, obviously. I was just thinking this, and I'm like, all right, well. So what did I say to them? I said something really dumb. I was like, oh yeah, and then they're like, oh, well, you should go down and talk to her. I'm like, guys, I'm really not that interested, you know, in any relationship right now. Obviously, it didn't matter to me. That's the common lie in my first video. That was one of the common lies. I'm not interested in a relationship. So they didn't buy that at all. They were like, oh, well, just go down and talk to her, dude. I was like, I really don't want to. And they're like, oh, well, are you nervous? Because she's really nervous too. I was like, no, I just don't want to. And then they're like, dude, if you go down there and you talk to her and give her a hug, I'll give you $5. I was like, what? You're expecting me to go down there, you know, talk to her and give her a hug, and then you hand me $5 in front of her? That would make me look like such a dick. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. You're an idiot. And this guy that was talking to me, Charlie's son goes to school with him, and Charlie's son despises him. He just... And Charlie says the same thing about him. Yeah, he's just like an arrogant kid, and he just doesn't take no for an answer. And yeah, I found that out that night too. And, you know, he was just he was annoying. He kept coming up like throughout the night, and yeah. So that's what happened first. So they walked away, and of course, you know, they go right down to them and they start talking to each other. Their whole freaking little group. I don't know. They must have been a pretty tight knit group. Because they were all just talking to each other about this and trying to, like, hook me up with this girl, even though I had no interest. And then some girls come up to the counter. The rest of the girls. It's like the brunette and like 2 others. And they're like, look, our friend Sarah is really into you. It'd be cool if you go and talk to her. I was like, look, I'm not interested. I told your buddy that. You know, it's cool that, you know, she has an interest in me, you know. I'm kind of flattered, but I'm not interested. And they're like, come on, just give her a chance. Just you know, come down and talk to her a little bit. And I was like, I really don't want to. That's all I could say. I mean, I don't want to be an idiot and be like, no, she's fugly, and I'd rather date you because you're hotter to the brunette. But, you know. So, they go back down, of course. And, yeah, then I don't hear anything of them for, like, a good 15 minutes. I'm like, good, maybe they got the message. I'm just gonna keep standing up here and wait until they leave, and then I'll be out of this situation forever. But then the entire time I'm talking to Charlie about it, and Charlie's like, look, dude, I've been in this situation before. You gotta make up some excuses. So he starts telling me all these excuses I can do, and, you know, he's like trying to help me out, and I thought it was funny. You know, this whole situation at the time, I thought was, like, it was awkward at the time, but now looking back, it's pretty funny. Yeah, because I was being really awkward. All I had to go do was go talk to her, but, you know, I really wasn't into her, but I should have just went down and at least talked to her, you know. I don't know, I should have given her a shot. But, you know, at the time, that was the least of my problems. So, after hearing nothing of them for about 20 minutes, I'd say, a few of them come back up to the counter. This time, the girls and the guys. So, it was like pretty much all of them that were like really pushing for this were up here. Like the brunette, yeah, that dickhead guy, and yeah, so they were all up here, and they're like, hey, we've been trying to get her to come up here and talk to you. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. If, you know, she's really as interested as she says she is, you know, have her come up here and talk to me. And they're like, yeah, well, we've been trying to do that, but she's like really nervous, and she's hiding in the bathroom right now. I was like, what? What? How are you that nervous? But I don't know. That's so weird. I was like, well, why doesn't she just come up here? Like, she talked to me a little bit before, and it wasn't a problem. Now it's a problem? Like, I don't understand what the issue is. And they're like, well, I don't know. She's just, like, really nervous about it. And, no, really, you should go down and talk to her and, like, you know, get her to at least come out of the bathroom. What kind of girl hides in the bathroom from a guy that they're interested in? You know, I thought girls are supposed to play hard to get, but you don't go hide in the bathroom. Oh my god. So, she goes hidden in the bathroom. I'm still just like, look, not interested, sorry. And, I still just stayed up at the front. Then I saw her like 5 minutes later. She was just like walking out. So she was like fine then. I guess they went in and talked to her and got her to come out. But they're still trying to talk her into coming up and talking to me, which I don't understand. But I keep saying no, but they keep pushing for it. But whatever, you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Now, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? Oh, okay. Yeah, now we get to the note. The note's a good time. But so here we go. Yeah, so I'd say about 10 minutes after that, brunette comes up, gives me a note. She's like, "Hey, this is from Sarah. Just, you know, open when you get home and see what you think." So of course I opened it right away. I just opened it, and it was like, "Hey, text me later." And it had her phone number, or she's like, or call me, and it was like Sarah. I actually still might have that note. I don't know, but I remember like I took that, and then I heard a little bit more from them. They're like, "Oh, come down and talk to her," and I was like, "No, you know, I'll just text her when I get home." And they're like, "Okay." So I go to leave. It's like 9 o'clock. I go to leave. They're still there. And of course, you know, the girls see me, like, trying to walk out. So they come up and they're like, "You're going to call her, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll call her." And they're like, "Oh, good, thanks. You know, that's awesome. And she's really into you. I think you should." And I was like, "Yeah, I will." Got home, threw that message somewhere, and I was like, "Nope, not doing it." And, yeah, I felt like a dick. I'm not going to lie. I did. But I don't know. But before I left, actually, I talked to Charlie. I was like, "Dude, what should I do?" He's like, "Oh, this is pretty easy, okay? You get home, you get rid of the note, you act like you never had it." And I was like, "And when they come in at the end of next month, what do I tell them?" They're like, "Oh, just say you got home." I had to use this before. Just say you got home, and of course he used it when he was younger, but he was like, "Oh, just say you got home. It was in your shorts pocket. You threw it in the hamper, and your mom washed it." And then, you know, you couldn't read it after that. I was like, "That's brilliant. Awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." Okay, so I leave. And, you know, of course these girls are like, "Oh, you know, you're going to call her." I was like, "Yeah." But, so I leave, and I had to work the next day. I got called in. So Charlie was working that day, too. And I come in. And he's like, "Hey, you're not going to like this, but I kind of ran my mouth a little bit after you left." I was like, "What'd you say?" He's like, "Well, I said that, well, you know, the brunette was the last one here, right? Everyone else left. She was still waiting for a ride." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah," and she kept asking me, like, "Oh, is your friend going to call my friend?" And I was like, and he was like, "Well, I didn't really know much about the situation." This is what he's telling her. He's like, "I really didn't know much about the situation. I can't really say for sure, but, you know, I know for a fact he would have called you," is exactly what he says to this brunette. And I'm like, "Charlie, why?" He's like, I don't know. It was stupid now that I think about it. I was like, "You don't say." But, so, now I just look like an asshole, you know, to all these people. And I look like an asshole to begin with, but now I look like more of one. And, yeah, so that's a little awkward story I thought I'd share. I didn't do a very good job of telling that, I don't think. I'll have to listen back to it before I upload it, but, you know, I tried my best. But here we go. We're taking down Ruby, and hopefully you enjoyed that. I had fun recounting that, actually. I'm going to try to find that note, and if I do find it, I'll put a picture of it up at the end. And, yeah. I'll blur out the phone number or something. I don't want anyone, you guys, like, calling here. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed. This is going to be the end of the video. I'll show you what trophies I have at the end.
Yeah, well, if
and
like
yeah.
the rest of you.
So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Here's my trophies. You should have 19 bronze, 5 silver, and 2 gold at this point. If you don't, you missed a vault somewhere. Or, I don't know, I don't even think there's any missable. You probably just missed a vault. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'm PlatsDoneFAst, and until next time, I am out. Peace! So, guess what? I found the note. Right here. I'm not going to show the phone number, but call me. Whatever that is. It looks like a heart. Sarah Dalen. My phone won't be active for the next 2 days, so text me like Friday. And she uses freaking, like, texting speak. TXT, NXT, 2. I was like, okay, that's enough. But, yeah. So, I figured I'd share that with you. Yeah, this is just proving that I didn't make this up. So, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. Here you go, you perverts.